CBAI.
Hey, this is Cam with CBAI. Thanks for tuning in. Today's video is going to be a little bit different than what you're used to seeing from my channel, which is normally Suno how-to tutorials. Today I'm going to be talking about some principles for the ethical application of music AI technology. You might be wondering why I'm covering this topic today. Well, in addition to quite a few comments on my videos about with people expressing concerns or just accusations and anger about the ethical implications of music I feel that it is important that any person of goodwill should be thinking about the ethical use of the technology that they have available to them, especially with new technology, new and emerging technologies, because they're new. We haven't experienced all the possibilities with them, and with every new technology that comes out, there's people who use it for great good, and there are some others who use it for some evil ends. So we're going to go in there and analyze this. Now, I want to share with you that I am a Catholic Christian, and so while my channel has been secular in nature for the most part, and secular in the sense of we're focusing on topics that don't have any particular religious focus. My my topics, my information for the video today comes from a Vatican document called Antiqua Et Nova that was released recently, and I'm going to put a link for that in the description if you're curious about it. So a lot of my thought today is influenced by that. And that document is really like an ethical guidelines for the use and of AI in general, and also for the development of it. But today we'll just focus on the use because we're users. Most of the subscribers and watch viewers of my videos versus developers. I think that even if you're not Catholic or you're not Christian, that's okay. I think that anyone who looks through this can see it's just good common sense and well thought out ethical philosophy. As those of us that are Christians like me, we believe in using both faith and reason to work through the challenges that come up as society continues to go forward. We take our reason, we use technology, but then we also use faith and we use philosophy to look at these things and think about what does a natural law say? How should we use these technologies in a way that promotes human good and not human downfall, essentially? So, as far as an agenda today, I'm going to start out with some general principles for the use of technology overall. So those are things we could use towards anything. Then I'm going to go into three primary principles for the use of AI technology. And then from there, I'm going to extrapolate more on those three main principles towards more concrete recommendations and discussion over using music AI. As a side note, Antiqua Et Nova doesn't cover music AI specifically, although it does cover AI in other applications such as in economics, in healthcare, war, etc. But the general principles from that can be applied, as I just mentioned, so we're going to apply those in a little bit. As I go along in the video, I'll put the paragraph number on the screen so you can see. And if you want to reference that specific paragraph number from Antiqua et Nova that was influenced by that point in this video, you can go in and click on the description to find that link, and then go in and find that paragraph number and you can read a little bit more. So with that, let's jump into it. So, in terms of general principles for the ethical use of technology, the first one is that technology, and in particular new technology, can be used for both good or evil means and good and evil ends. What I mean by the word ends is the ultimate end goal, the moral action, what we're trying to accomplish. When I mean by the word means, it indicates the concrete actions or steps that we take towards achieving the end goal. You can have a good means, or excuse me, you can have a good end or an evil end. So, a good end may be that I want to solve homelessness in my city. So I'm going to use technology, right? And then an evil end may be that I want to steal people's credit card information. That's my goal. I'm going to steal their credit card information. That would be an evil end. Now, in terms of a good means, maybe for the good means is that I go talk to the homeless people in my city. I go talk to the other constituents. I gather like a task force. We go research, we problem solve, and we start trying to put in legislation to help people. Maybe we even do some kind of fundraising activity, right? Uh, an evil way of maybe of trying to accomplish my goal of even though I have a good goal of getting to save the homeless people or get them off the street, an evil way maybe I'm the mayor of the city and I just start shifting funds illegally from other sources and not telling anyone in a way that I don't have authority to do so, and I just start spending money on that. Or maybe I'm even getting money from places that I'm not supposed to. So that would be an evil way of trying to accomplish a good thing, which for at least for Catholics is never permissible. So we have to use good means and for a good end. So ultimately, technology that applies as well. We need to think about the use of technology and know that technology itself isn't just good by itself. Next, we must reject what's called the technocratic paradigm, which is a worldview that perceives all the world's problems as if they're solvable through technological means alone. In fact, reality, goodness, and truth do not inherently flow from technological and economic power. So there is constituency, there is a thought process in the world today among some people that technology is really like the only kind of progress, that technology will solve all of humanity's problems, and that technology is really like the only way to accomplish that. This is a false view. Technology can't solve all of our problems on its own. It's a limited way, and it certainly has solved many problems, but it can't solve all of them. So we need to keep that in mind. The third point is that along with the growth and emergence of new technologies comes an opportunity and the need for every one of us, including me, when we come into access of new technology, we need to grow in human responsibilities, in values, and conscience. Really, what that means is that whenever I have access to new technology, when you have access to new technology, you actually become more powerful. You have a new way of affecting change in the world, of analyzing information, of coming to conclusions, of influencing other people. And so, with that added power, as you may have heard the phrase, with great power comes great responsibility. And so, when we come into a greater form of power, whether it's through authority that we've received or through being able to use more technology, we must grow in our understanding of our responsibility and responsible use of that technology. We must apply our values and hopefully well formed values based on the natural law. And we must use our conscience when we use technology. We can't just give ourselves away to this new technology, whatever it is, without thinking about it, without muting down our conscience. Okay, so those are my general principles on technology overall. Let's get into the three primary principles for the use of AI I want to talk about today, and I think that this document, Antiqua Et Nova, I think it boils down to these three main ones. The first one is the principle of human dignity. So AI technology must be used in a way that preserves the inherent human dignity of each human being. The second primary principle is the vocation of the human person. Again, the vocation of the human person. So what that means is that AI must be used only as a tool to complement human intelligence rather than replace its richness. It's important to remember that AI is not intelligence the same way humans have intelligence, which encompasses for humans not only analytical and factual knowledge, but also includes personal lived experiences, our cultural values and our cultural richness, our emotions, our social life, our relationships, our embodiment, and many other facets AI is incapable of recreating. AI is a sophisticated system of mathematics and, uh, you know, computer technology, right? So don't want to try to describe what that all is. I'm probably not the best one, but it's not embodied. Humans, we have bodies and we are relational. We learn in different ways more than just through analytics. And AI is predicting things that it should know, but we've all seen, or if you've played with AI, you've heard when it goes crazy and off the wall and does crazy stuff because it loses its whatever, it loses its ability to analyze or whatever, or the crazy videos that AI makes. Um, AI doesn't have the same kind of intelligence that humans do, so we got to keep that in mind. We need to use AI in a way that it develops ourselves and others through authentic human relationships, which will in turn promote a integral human development. So as the vocation as a human person, we grow through relationships with others. We are social. We are not meant only to be sitting down watching YouTube videos. We are supposed to be out meeting people in real life. And so I hope to do that somehow in this channel, get people more social at some point. The third principle I want to talk about is the common good. So, with the common good and the use of AI technology, we must preserve and promote the common good of all humanity when we use AI technology. We need to use it in a way that promotes fraternity, and we need to use all of our gifts as humans, including technology, in the service of others and not just to enrich ourselves. So, with those three principles in mind, the principle of human dignity, the principle of the vocation of the human person, and the principle of the common good. Let's get into each one of them and look into some concrete recommendations for the use of music AI. Back to human dignity, principle number one. AI must always be seen as a tool or a machine and not an other, such as God or a human person. So we mean an other. It's not a person, it's just a technology, it's just a machine. We should not refer to machines as people, and we should not think of them or talk to them like they're people and use that to replace actual human beings in our lives. If we fail to do this, we risk becoming enslaved to a tool that is a product of human intelligence. AI is a product of our own intelligence, of other very intelligent people working together. We should not think that it replaces humans, though. Otherwise, as I just said, we become a slave to it. We also should oppose the use of music AI technology as a tool that threatens human dignity. This could go a lot of different ways. I believe there is a lot of discretion in any of these principles. You have to take the principle and apply it to specific situations. But as an example, if you are writing music that was gossiping about other people or damaging their reputation and lying about them, that would be a terrible way to use music AI and you should not do it. Next, along with human dignity, you should build trust through transparency as you use music AI. As music AI is developing and some of the legal things are coming, getting worked out, there's a lot of flexibility here, I think, but you should be open about the fact that you use music AI in your songs. I don't know exactly where the line is drawing. You have to think about that yourself, but I don't think you should pass off your music as 100% being created all, analog or all by human creativity if you're using music AI. I think most of us are probably using it in a hybrid way where we're doing a lot of our own thinking. We're writing part of our lyrics. Maybe we're using AI to help do some lyrics. And then, you're doing a lot of prompting, which is your own creativity, but then the music is being produced by the AI, right? I think wherever you can, just be transparent that there was some AI use. You don't need to say that AI wrote everything for you. I don't think you should do that. If you're, putting your own human effort into it. The key is that you should be transparent. So don't hide the fact that, especially if you're generating stuff and you're not putting a lot of effort, I don't think you should really put out there that it's all your own, like your own music and try to hide from people that you did it as AI. So again, I don't necessarily think that you need to be like, oh, my music is all AI and I didn't do anything into it because there's a lot of work that goes into it. If you've seen, even watching my videos, right, there's like so much work that goes into creating AI and there's a lot of human creativity that goes into making music with generative AI. But, you know, take it as you can and apply that principle. Just be transparent about what you're doing. So let's go into the second principle, which is the vocation of the human person. There's a lot I have to talk about on this one. Number one is that when you're writing and producing music using this technology, be sure to intensify your own spirituality, in particular as it relates to your search and grasps for to understand objective truth. Music is a way, just as we mentioned, AI is analytical. Music is a different way that we humans learn through things, just like we learn through poetry and through literature, through our own cultures, right? So use AI as a way to grow and search for and grasp for the objective truth. What I mean by objective truth is truth that is true in all times for all people in all situations, uh, as compared to subjective truth, which we, of course, are always doing that all the time with writing music, where we're expressing our subjective experiences, our emotions, your truth, my truth, what I've experienced in my life. There is some truth to that, but even more importantly, use AI, use music as a way to discover and try to figure out the higher truths, the truths that apply to everyone in all times. Next, use it as a tool to reach your own creative fulfillment, reach your own human fulfillment in a more efficient and straightforward manner. I have a very specific example for this. You can use Music AI to improve your songwriting, to improve your composition, and improve your music production skills, because this technology can take your creations, whether you produce them somewhere else or you're just prompting and writing out your lyrics, and you can get alternate versions very quickly. For example, in Suno, if you have a song, either you brought it in, like I said, or you're just writing out and trying to write out your lyrics, you can try a whole bunch of different versions of lyrics and just do little modifications and create new songs. You can use the cover feature and cover and use different genres of your music to hear what they sound like. And in doing that, you can become better at your music skills. You can become better at your language skills if you're writing songs in whether it's in English or in other languages. You can become better at music production because you can export the files and analyze them. If you're using Suno Studio, you can even export the MIDI files and start analyzing the music theory behind stuff. So you can use this as a tool to become much better as a musician to write just pure old human music. So do it. Use it for that. Next, related also on Principle 2, vocation of the human person. Share with others the objective truth that you have discovered or believe you have discovered, and dialogue with other people to come to a deeper understanding of the truth. So, for example, you can write songs about living within the natural law, or songs about expressing the beauty of nature, songs about things you've learned in your life, even lessons you've learned that you want to share with other people. If you think it's going to make their lives better, write music about it, right? This is what people have always been doing with music. Just use AI too to help you do it. So, what I recommend is that you do find ways to share and exchange your musical creations with others, not just on the internet, but in person. There's a way wherever you live, if you can find other people nearby you to get together and express music, whether it's just playing together in a band or you even get together with some friends and start sharing in person the music you've created. I am working on this too. I know that it's hard to get out there now. I think especially maybe because of COVID, but even before, depending on where you're at in your life, maybe you live far away in some rural place. Like I used to live way out in the middle of nowhere, and it was like kind of hard to go out and meet people. You don't live in the city where you can just go meet people, or maybe you do live in the city, but you just feel you're feeling lonely. Whatever you can do, try to find people to be with, try to socialize and share your music with them. Do it in person because we're not just made to be staring at screens all the time. Even though, thank you for watching right now. If you are enjoying this video, why don't you hit the like button and leave me a comment about future videos you'd like to see, and let me know if you like this topic that I've been covering. Let's get into topic number 3, which is the common good. Do use music AI technology in the service of other people. Individual autonomy and all human capabilities are gifts from God and are meant to be used in the service of others. Find ways to use your musical talents. You might be the only person you know that's using this technology. Find ways to serve other people. Maybe you can write them a nice song for their birthday. Whatever comes to mind. Maybe you can serve with your community, like if they're making presentations, maybe you can provide some background music for them. Just an idea. Another thing related to the common good, again, the good of all our humanity, all our brothers and sisters in the world, do use your critical thinking and use your own creativity when creating music with AI. Don't create slop. AI must not supplant human judgment. Add your own personal creative elements to your music and don't, uh, you know, put your own creativity into it. Write your own lyrics. Try to. Even if you need to use the prompt to help you, create a song and then don't just stick with it. Go ahead and improve the lyrics. Don't feel like the AI, sometimes the technology is creating songs that sound so good. It feels like it's hard to fix it if like we're not all, I don't know how many of people are watching this. I'm not a Grammy award winning producer. Uh, Maybe someday that would be cool. But don't feel like your limitations hold you back because you're a human. So put your own humanity into your music and be creative with it. Play your music, whatever you got to do. Play an instrument, be creative, okay? Next recommendation is do exercise prudence when you're creating your songs. What I mean by that, I have a quote for you. It's a little bit long. I'm going to read it here. Those who produce and share AI generated content should always exercise diligence in verifying the truth of what they disseminate, and in all cases should avoid the sharing of words and images that are degrading to human beings, that promote hatred and intolerance, that debase the goodness and intimacy of human sexuality, or that exploit the weak and vulnerable. What this calls for is the ongoing prudence and careful discernment of all users regarding their activity online. So when you're using AI, be a moral person. Don't be creating stuff that degrades other people. Don't be creating stuff that leads people into doing bad things. Be smart. Be wise. Uh, don't don't lead people in the wrong direction. Next recommendation I have is don't impersonate real people or use it in other malicious ways. Don't misrepresent AI as a person. So there's a lot of ways that this could get applied, um, but don't lie and say that this is music from somebody that it's not. Um, and I think there's some room for comedy, like if you're making jokes about stuff. Like I've seen some videos about celebrities that are not real, but I'm not even sure about that anymore because it's kind of disrespectful to someone. Like if someone started posting AI videos copying me, I would feel pretty weird about it. So I think even if people are famous, probably shouldn't be uh, you know, creating stuff that's not them, especially when you're lying and misrepresenting. So that one's kind of general. I don't have a great example at the moment, but keep it in mind and apply that wherever you can. I have one more recommendation based on the common good. Don't misrepresent the use of AI in your music. Be transparent, as I said before. And like I said, it can be complicated. I think that in the future it's going to be a hybrid. I mean, if you think about, say for example, electronic dance music or even rap or hip hop. Like this music is already based on music that was written by other people. So I don't know why people are acting like when you have music AI technology that's more creative and more original than just borrowing samples. I don't get why people are saying that that's like just destroying all human creativity because like isn't that basically like hip hop and rap was based on taking other samples and repeating them. So like um, yeah, but be straightforward about it. Just don't. I think what the big thing is like, don't be lying and saying like, yeah, I played all the instruments on this track, and it's like, no, I actually just generated them. But you know, keep that in mind. Apply it where you can. And so, in conclusion, that's it. I hope you found this video both helpful and insightful. If you did, please don't forget to give me a subscribe, hit the bell notification if you want to get more videos like that. Leave me a comment below if you found this video helpful, if you'd like to see more or other topics you'd like me to cover. Share with your friends, like, all that good stuff. And until next time, this is Cam with CBAI. Thanks for tuning in. Hope you have a good one, and take care.